Everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Diz.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action.
Welcome back, guys. Quick recap from before we took a break. You went and did a little talk with Lil, found out about the suicide glyph, and found out some possible quests that you might be undertaking. The one you've selected for the time being is checking out that, non-going out fire on the market rung. And you also need to still go check on that note that Kenna was left in her room, because apparently everybody leaves their notes in Kenna's room about needing to meet up at the ruins. So you guys were on your way.
Who wants some small talk?
Yeah, I was going to say, on your way, obviously these are fairly quiet areas. That being said, it's not like you haven't seen anybody on this trip so far. It is a semi-main road for a fair distance of it, and there are people walking by with carts moving stones from the ruins back to the town. So there is actually a little bit of foot traffic here and there.
Looks like they've started excavating that place.
Yep.
Would make sense. Lazarus has been helping with it.
Lazarus has been moving stones for the last day.
If that was supposed to be small talk, it didn't start right?
Did you were dragging them all the way from there? I was always under the impression you were just helping put them on or at the area of the church.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah. But they'd have to have brought the stones there.
But they bring from multiple areas.
No, just the ruins we cleared.
Because
It's
the other
ruins.
ones got cleared out.
It was just that one they wanted.
I suppose that could have been the only source then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
We'll just add the so at the end of that.
So...
But yeah, is there anything in particular you guys would like to... you do have a quest now that you're undertaking, and obviously you might want to talk a little bit about what it is you're expecting to find when you get to the ruins.
Yes. Was there any other indication on your note, Kenna?
No, it just said, come to the side of the most recent conquest of the wind.
So wouldn't that probably be the room we found?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay, that's fine. We can speed you along your journey. So, before not too long, the ruins come into view, and you do see some people there working on getting the stones kind of pried out of their current confinements and put into carts, and then the carts are kind of set to the side to wait for more people to return and that sort of thing. Overall, it seems like things are progressing fairly smoothly. Everybody seems to be more or less working on the outer walls. Biggest stones, that sort of thing, most secure, so it seems like maybe they've just decided to pick from there. So the middle is fairly quiet. The very large rock that hides the entrance that you guys are aware of doesn't appear to have been touched.
What did we put over that again?
This is just a rock.
We just took a
Another
big
smaller
rock.
rock.
A smaller. Big
A smaller
rock.
big
Yeah.
rock, yeah.
So,
Is there a gap at all, or did we completely cover the whole?
You had completely covered it when you put it there, but you're too far away right now to see if anything's changed. You have to get closer.
I suppose we start heading towards the center. You know?
Fair enough.
Looking around to see if there's anybody who's trying to catch our attention, I guess.
Sure. Nobody seems to be directly. There are some people that are waving at you, particularly Lazarus, because they are more familiar with him because he was working on the project earlier. But it's just sort of the general, hello there sort of wave.
Yeah, when they do that, Nim will be like, hello there!
They don't not wave at you because it's pretty clear you all belong to the same group, but they clearly are waving at Lazarus.
Nim doesn't get that.
No, I didn't expect him to. Just wanted to clarify. All right, so as you guys begin to move into the center, who's taking point?
I assume we're following Kenna at this point. It's her note.
Okay, fair enough. Can I do a perception check as you approach the rock?
Also,
18.
Okay. So, Kenna approaches the rock and notices two things that are different than when you left. The first is the smaller stone that you placed on the trapdoor-like entry has been adjusted slightly. Not so much that it has been callously put back, but kind of like somebody's turned it like that 5 degrees. It definitely feels deliberate.
Mm.
The second thing that's different makes that choice seem all the more deliberate. That gigantic rock that is covering most of the entry has been split in half. And now lies as two separate pieces. They're fairly close together still. They've only opened a wedge of, say, a couple of inches at the very top. But something has very cleanly split the rock down the middle.
Well, this is different.
Sure is. Guess we gotta go in and find out what's going on.
I guess we can never look around. Anybody?
Some people are watching, like they're curious what you're doing, but nobody seems to be paying you a very direct attention.
Mm. Shall we just head down then?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh boy.
Well, with you, then this.
Okay.
The rocks.
Pick up the rock, move it out of the way. The entrance down, it's not... You will recall when you removed the jar, the lights went out.
Mm-hmm.
It's lit down there again. You can see flame flickering.
At least everybody can see that.
Yeah, I mean, once you remove the rock.
Alright, going down.
Okay, you give it a jump down. It's not very long, as you'll recall, so give a quick perception check and we'll see what you see.
25.
Okay, so you jump down. The candles that were around the altar have been relit. Judging by how big the candles are, it's probably fairly recent. It doesn't really look like they burn all that long. On the top of the altar, where the jar used to be, somebody has driven a dagger all the way down into the altar, right to the hilt. And there's a piece of paper buried under it.
Is everybody coming down, or are they still up?
Yep, I would have
Yeah.
followed.
It's a fairly tight opening, so you'll be in front as before.
Let's move forward and mention there's a dagger with a note.
We'll get the note.
I was giving away the info. Let's get up there.
Oh my, Kenna. All right, you move towards the note.
Yep.
No traps activate.
Go up to it and I guess check.
Okay. The note is upside down and is under the hilt. You'd have to rip it to get it out. Or you'd have to pull the dagger out.
Well, pop the dagger out.
Okay.
Or attempt to pop
You wrap your hand around it. Give us an athletics check.
This isn't coming out.
Oh, dear.
10.
It does not budge.
2 hands.
Okay.
I don't know how this is going to work. I doubt that.
I mean, like, it's not that big of a dagger.
I'll just try to do the double, like...
Sure.
Like a freaking golf club.
Yeah, give it another go.
Big advantage with 2 hands.
No. Not with how small the handle is.
2.
It turns out going with the 2 hands really just gives not enough purchase to either hand, and they slip right off.
Well, this is immovable.
Do you want to let someone else try? Maybe someone who's, big?
Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
I love the confidence. This is immovable.
I don't think you'll be able to move it. It seems to be put there by God himself, but we'll let somebody try.
Well, then God himself, you say. I mean, sure, I'll kind of like wiggle my way through to the pack and like give it one
Yeah.
big hand and a tug.
Okay, give it a tug.
No laughing out of you.
Just wrap your hand around it and tug it. Oh.
That ain't real shit. 13.
Alright, I don't want to be that guy, but Dis sweated all over it.
So it's just like...
Yeah, just...
So he tugged on it and went...
Yeah,
Right.
with a little bit of a sound at the end.
Gotta pop them off.
Sounds
the
like
hand.
it was a good
It's rude
ending.
not to. I like...
You remember that moment where we were
I
talking
kinda-
about whether this was a kid-friendly recording?
I like grabbed
never
Dis's...
been a moment.
I grabbed Dis's cloak and like
Oh.
rubbed down the dagger.
I think that red's spreading.
Beg your pardon, but you sweated all over it.
Oh, that's the problem. And I prestidigitation both his hands and the dagger.
Okay.
Alright,
All right, give it another tug.
I'm watching you.
Jeez.
1-1-1.
Damn it. There we go.
23.
Okay. You get a firm grip.
Maybe
Give
it's
it a-
not going to come out, is it?
You give it a pop, and it comes out about halfway.
Well, that's easier. And then I'll get, there's probably,
There is a little bit of a hilt.
yeah, I'll just go under both hilt of both hands. And
Okay.
pop it.
Yeah, with the extra leverage, you pop it the rest of the way out.
I was just dagger.
Okay.
And he just, stands out of the way of the note there.
Fair enough. Let somebody else grab the note.
You've
I
done
grabbed the
it!
note.
Okay. Kenna wants to squeeze past the both of you to get to the note in a 5-foot wide hallway.
She turns into a snake.
Okay, that seems fair. Turns into a snake, slithers between your legs, pops back up the other side, grabs the note. She just really wanted it, is the problem.
Is that Nim? No.
Was that Nim? Is that Nim down there? Alright, so, I guess, are you looking at the dagger? Okay, give it an investigation. In the meantime, Kenna, you pick up the note, flip it over, and written on the note is simply the words, "We'll be in touch."
I guess we'll be in touch.
Who could have done this?
I'm doing
Is there any-
investigation on it. Yeah.
On the dagger.
12.
Looks like a dagger. It's not particularly well made or particularly unwell made.
I've looked for insignia or marking then.
Completely smooth handle. Almost to the point where that would probably be counterproductive to the handle, but there's no markings on it of any kind.
Can I have a look?
I'll look for any markings on the paper.
Okay. This one or the other one as well?
Both of them.
Okay. Investigation checks for both of you.
I want to check the dagger for wear and tear, and also if there's something that would obviously be left by slamming it into the table.
Okay, fair enough.
Just based on somebody's used daggers before.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Investigation.
Yeah, because you're doing a thorough...
You got teased with that.
Holy crap! It's a dagger.
Yours is less than Lazarus.
Yes, 7.
7? Okay. I mean, it is a dagger. You do notice that there is a little bit of wear and tear on it. It definitely suggests to you that it's not a magical dagger, especially because there's a giant dent near the tip where somebody rammed this thing into a rock. So it's not that it was particularly designed to do that. Somebody was just being a dick and slammed the dagger into the rock. It's almost
Can I
ruined
look at the
blade.
rock? Wait, is this just like a regular rock, or
It's a stone altar.
that
How
took some
tall
force
is it?
Yeah.
It's
force
like
to drive a
3 feet
dagger
off the
in.
ground.
without shattering it?
Okay, I want to jump
3
up.
feet tall, I should say.
I want to jump up on the altar and look at the part where the dagger was driven in. See if there's anything in that.
Okay.
opening.
Investigation or Arcana check?
Probably just investigation. I don't think I'm looking for magic at this point.
Okay, go ahead. And you were looking at the notes, Kenna?
18.
So both notes are written in common. However, there are several errors in the script. Spelling errors, grammatical errors, that sort of thing. And there is a symbol that's been drawn on the bottom right corner of each note.
What's the symbol?
The symbol is a small dagger with 1 drop of red blood dripping off the tip, wreathed in black shadow around the blade.
Calling Brotherhood.
The
Brotherhood.
The we know,
Dark
you
room.
know.
The big black
Shadowed
hand.
with what, sorry, again?
The blade has
I like
shadow around it.
Those were always the best fucking quests and all that shit in every game.
I'm glad you think so.
There's an off-leash dog park by my mom's house, and there's like power poles all down it, and someone put a white.
White?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I always want to go and write "we know" underneath it.
Okay. Sorry, Nim, you were looking at the altar?
Yep.
What'd you get? And what were you looking for?
Let's just go with the roll first.
Okay.
It was a 9.
Well, you have passive
I guess I do have passive.
investigation.
We have it written down on there.
Yeah.
It is technically
Oh,
passive
Jesus.
investigation.
Nim's is 18.
So 18 then. I don't know. I was
Really-
just looking.
We really should have done that for, I guess Dis's is 11
Yeah.
instead of but Lazarus, your 9 is basically your minimum.
I rolled 13 minus 1.
There you go. Nim, you look up. Honestly, you've looked at this pillar before when you were examining the jar. Not much has changed since then, other than obviously this opening that the dagger drove in. It's a pretty rough cut. It really does look like somebody just rammed it in with a significant amount of force behind it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it was pre-cut or anything, for example. You can see the cracks where it was driven in.
Alrighty. What?
I mean, you're all
Silence.
down in this little hallway. Is there
Can I check the candles for, like, are these naturally burning candles? Does it look like wax is
One, when the jar was on there, it didn't seem like it, but now it does seem like it. Like, you can see the wax has melted, like, you can see it, like, dripping off the sides.
Based on the size I remember the candles being when we were originally in here, could I make a guess at how long these have been burning?
You probably could, as long as you remember it well enough, so give it a history check.
This is where it all falls apart.
Yep.
Do I have a passive?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's history, so 7.
Okay. You're really not sure. You know it was under half, because you remember them being little candles.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it, honestly. It makes your guess would be wildly ranging from anything from, like, a few hours to, like, a day or two.
Somebody was here in the last few hours to a day or two. Pinpoint accuracy.
Look at you go.
Pinpoints.
I mean, it would make sense considering we got the notes today.
I guess so if they've been waiting here.
Does Lazarus have to continue standing here?
No, we can leave.
As poor Lazarus is, like, wedged in this tiny hallway. Okay. So you guys back out. Everything outside seems to be progressing more or less as it had before.
Move the rock back over so that we just falls into a pit.
Yeah, I think that was why you put it there in the first place. It wasn't even so much to cover it up as to just make sure little Sally didn't fall down the well.
Sure.
I mean, you've already lost one little girl.
We'll find her.
It was a 50-50 on which route we had to take. We picked the one that made sense.
And it's not like it didn't lead you to her.
Yet, it has not yet.
But you have all but been confirmed that she is here.
It's okay. It's
Yes, but we've also had it threatened that
That's
we
why.
could most likely not be able to reach her if we don't do this. So there's that.
Indeed, there is that. All right. What would you guys like to do then?
Head back to you.
Yeah, I guess.
Help with some rocks first, though.
Sure.
Meet the locals.
Yeah, you want to take a load of rocks back?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys just want to approach the locals who are loading the rocks?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to go around and ask anybody who looks like they've been doing this for a while. Like the back and forth.
They're all pretty sweaty.
I'll also go find somebody who looks like they might know a bit more and
Okay.
generally leading operations.
There is a slightly larger individual, muscular-wise, not fat-wise, who does seem to be kind of more or less directing people which rocks to take. So he seems to be kind of in charge.
So I'll approach him.
Okay. As you kind of approach, he kind of looks over his back shoulder and he goes, "Adventurers!
Hey there.
Come to see on how we're working, yeah?"
Actually, I had a couple questions for you. Just about this area over the last day or two.
All right, that seems fair. But if you got questions to ask, you can lift some rocks. Yes, no one works for nothing around here.
Sure, let's do this thing.
Pick
All
a
right.
rock by him.
That one over there, that little one. Can he lift a rock?
I can try.
Give him the little rocks.
Yeah, he can lift a lot of rocks. He just doesn't... Maybe he can't lift a lot of rocks, but he's useful.
And the lady, she doesn't mind lifting rocks, does she?
Nah, she can do it. Regular form. She can turn to animals, too. It's crazy.
He just sort of looks at you for a second. He's like, "All right then. Well, you lift up some rocks. You can ask me some questions."
All right, I'll lift up a rock. Can I ask you a question now?
he looks at you and gives you one of those "Oh, you're so simple." He's just kind of like, well, you gotta load them up on the cart. So you lift the rock, you put them on the cart. You lift the rock, you put them on the cart. And we can talk while we do that.
Oh,
Alright.
you mean like this? And I mage hand and I grab a 10-pound rock and I put it on the cart.
He sort of looks over and he's just kind of like, I hear ya. That's one way to lift a rock, I guess. Can you do that a lot?
All day.
All right, well, then you start lifting some rocks so your buddy here asks me some questions.
So, over the
And
last...
he like looks over and he goes, and of course, Lazarus, you lift whatever you feel like, sir.
I'll go find whoever's trying to move the biggest.
It would be most appreciated, my lord.
Nice. All right,
Sorry,
then-
sir. Before he asks a question, can we get your name?
Sure. And most people call me around here Walter.
Hi, Walter. I'm Kenna.
Kenna,
Nice
right?
to meet you.
All
And I go
right.
picking rocks.
It's nice to meet you. All right, sir. You in the dark skin variety? You got a question for me?
Yeah, I was wondering about people who've shown up here the last day or two that were not from around here or didn't really look like they were trying to get rocks, load them up.
Well, hadn't really been much people around here other than us. It's mostly just been the townsfolk, that sort of thing.
I just noticed that rock was split over there. Point to it once we moved aside.
Oh, yeah. We wondered about that. Got split last night.
Did it? Nobody saw who or what did it.
Well, we ain't out here at night. It's pretty difficult to see.
Makes sense, but it gets pretty dark here.
It does, and weird things come out at night, tend to.
Kind of weird things. I'm sure we've seen some, but ain't anything specific coming out.
Just animals and the like. It's just harder to travel in the dark.
Fair enough.
Ain't much reason for it. Church is going up one way or the other. Doesn't matter if it takes a couple days, couple weeks.
Makes sense. All right.
But we came back this morning, and sure enough, rock was split in half.
I'll just insight on the general sense that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, get that vibe if he's just
Sure.
ignorant or feigning ignorance. Not well.
What's that? That rock over there? I didn't know what happened to that rock over there.
But that rock right there, you pick that one and put it on the wagon.
Yeah, but that rock right there, you pick that rock up, you put it on the wagon.
12.
Yeah, he seems pretty straight-laced guy. Doesn't really seems more like he's not even really concerned about what happened to the rock. He's just kind of like, yeah, no, we came back in the morning and sure enough, the rock was broken. Doesn't really seem to be alarmed by it or...
All right. Thank you for your help. I'll help. Pick up a rock. I'll go pick up a rock.
All right.
The one I put down was picked back up.
Take it over to the cart. He just sort of, as you're all kind of doing that, he just goes back to kind of being like, all right, you're there, pick that rock up, put it over there. And you pick that rock up and put it over there.
Sounds surprisingly a lot like Swaddlenuts.
Well, you know. Maybe he's a distant relative.
Or, you know,
Of the human variety.
Well, hey,
not squirrel variety.
a little bit of the extra.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of that. So how long do you guys want to work on rocks?
I'll work until like the last.
I mean,
load
we
heads
already
in.
know it's late afternoon, right?
Yeah, they've probably only got about another hour and a half before they'd all start heading back.
Yep, I'll work for the last hour and a half.
Sure, Lazarus will be pretty happy. He'd actually be probably happy that everyone's here having this time.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm sure you would be. And definitely the townspeople that are around are very happy for you to be helping out. Several of them you recognize from working on the church yesterday, so several of them, as you kind of approach, are very appreciative, tell you good morning, or, good afternoon.
There's an
and
awkward
that sort
10
of
minutes
stuff.
of me getting off my gear, but...
Yeah, such as it is.
I feel like Nim stands by Walter and kind of like pays attention while mage hand. Like he's continually mage handing rocks, but that doesn't really take because he just tells the mage hand what to do, and it kind of just does it for a minute. So between castings of mage hand, I want Nim to pay attention to what Walter's doing, and then slowly start giving orders.
I like it. All right. Let's see. What would we do for something of that nature? You know what? I'm gonna go with a performance roll. Seems vaguely charisma based.
Oh boy, that's a 5.
Oh, that was not a happy oh boy.
That wasn't one. No, if it was a happy oh boy, it would have been oh boy, not just sort of an oh boy. All right, so what happens is during the hour and a half, Nim is watching what Walter's doing, as he said, and every once in a while, when he thinks he knows what rock Walter's going to be interested in next, he tries to kind of bark out, you know.
Oh, that one over there. Pick that up, put it in that cart.
And he gets like 4 of those in, and all 4 of them are just awful. Like just even people just like casually paying attention can tell those rocks are no good. But Nim's overthinking it is what's happening. And finally Walter just kind of looks down and he's just like, you know what, I think I have a different job for you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And kind of like walks you over to the carts and he goes, you see these harnesses here?
Yeah.
He says, well, we don't want them breaking on the way back. So, you take this can of oil and you oil them up real good. And you just sort of stay over here.
Bitch job.
Nim reluctantly grabs a rag with the mage hand and starts oiling the harnesses. And the whole time he's just mumbling under his breath. Oil the harnesses, he says. Stay over here, don't bark orders, he says.
I feel like even if Walter could hear that, he'd just be like, yeah, those are things I said. Poor Nim.
I don't think that's a poor Nim. He brought that upon himself.
He tried.
To
He's
be a
not-
jackass.
He's not a lifter, he's an order giver. That's... He just doesn't know what rocks are good. Yeah, he's a terrible general contractor.
He's like, why don't you grab that rock, Nim? That's a log. Why don't you grab that rock? That's a plant.
And that's a squirrel.
Wait, squirrel!
Squirrel.
Do you know swaddle nuts? All right.
Where is he?
Is anybody else trying to do anything during this hour and a half of time? Feel free.
Just
Yeah, sure, I'll make
moving around and chatting people.
I'll make small talk with somebody around me.
Okay. Let's see. Who's around Dis? What were you doing again? Just picking up rocks and moving rocks? All right. Let's see. Who's around there? Who would Dis be talking to?
I'd be taking small rocks because 12 strength.
Okay. I mean, you know,
Slightly above average.
slightly above average rocks.
Doesn't feel like it.
Well, compared
I
to
mean,
an
but it
average
really
farmer.
is, though.
It's true.
Grabbing
It's true.
slightly bigger rocks than him because I'm 13.
Just the slightest.
Like,
I'm just like, I'm
scale
noticing.
of strength because I'm 11 strength.
Yeah.
Like stupid low strength. I'm just
What are you?
tiny.
16.
We're all actually generally weak compared to the
Well, Paladin's not.
compared to our main stats.
Yeah. Charisma first, and then con, and then strength.
I just always think of Lazarus being super.
Well,
built,
like
dude.
he's big, but he's not like Laslellian,
Yeah.
or like he was just like muscles rippling all of him.
Yeah, he's more
Soft
big in just
audio.
the general size sort of way.
Yeah, he's got that soft muscle build where everything's lightly defined.
You know,
Right,
like
born
after the
physiology.
bodybuilder gives up, about like
Ah.
5 years later. You know the one. All right, so Dis, you're working with a mildly short individual. Still appears to be human, but he's just a little on the shorter side. And he kind of, you two just started kind of working together side by side, more or less, and just kind of gave you a howdy.
Hey. So, you like rocks?
Always with the so. He's just sort of like, I suppose. You like rocks?
No, hate them.
Oh. Is that why you're lifting them like that?
I'm just like,
You're just like throwing them.
It's just breaking them in half on him.
No, it's maybe a bit, yeah. So, I had a question for you, since we're sitting here.
Alright.
Now, have you seen anything suspicious around here over the last day or two? I heard that rock was split over there, that one. I waved back in the general direction of it.
You're
Split
like-
right in half in the night.
He gives you one of those like really slow, like up and down looks. He's like, if you're talking about suspicious things, you're gonna have to be more specific.
That rock was split back there in the middle of the night or something. Does that seem weird? There's just like there, and then somebody's just like, and then it's in half the next day.
I mean, it's a pretty big rock. Sort of figured maybe it just got cut or something.
It's like,
There's just weird things happen out here, you know?
Is that just kind of like a normal occurrence, that level of thing? Like just rocks being split?
No, I don't think so. But just weird things happen out here, you know?
So, how does it feel being, is this your job? You just haul rocks? What do you do when you're done hauling rocks?
No, I'm a farmer. Just pulling rocks to help build a church.
Ah, I see.
Gotta pray to the Lord.
It's, of course, gotta get religious.
You a religious man, son?
Oh, somewhat, yes.
Somewhat, son?
Yeah.
You can't be somewhat religious.
Well,
You
yeah.
got God in your heart, boy?
I do.
All right, then.
Being religiously examined. It's okay.
Well, I think you brought it up.
So you like when you usually hit back, like when just as soon as it hits dark, you're just back, or
No, should be heading back about an hour, so we get back before dark.
makes sense, don't it? Leave a wagon out here in the dark. Animals might build themselves a home.
Well, they might. They might do with that. He's just sort of like, so you're an adventurer, huh?
Yeah,
How you like that?
it's adventure, it's living life on the edge. One day you're slaying demons. Next day you're wondering why rocks are split in half. Strange lifestyle.
Do a perception check.
What is this? Roll the number of the beast over the last 3. Passive perception's 15.
Okay. So you finish your sentence, and then you, notice the look on his face, and then you look around and you realize, several of the villagers nearby are also looking at you with that face. You're just sort of like, you've seen a demon?
Oh my fucking god.
You said the
It
word.
was just a figure of speech. I didn't know what it was, but it was something in chainmail.
That was amazing. I was not expecting that.
I wish people watching this could see the look on everybody's face. And he's just sort of like you can tell he's really wary now. All right. So it wasn't a demon.
No, it's sorry, a figure of speech. I've been outside of this area. I forgot how touchy everybody is with the thought of demons. I haven't really seen too many, other than the slave camps, of course.
All right. I'm not.
Random farmers get the life story.
Not exactly sure where it is exactly you're from, but around here we don't joke about demons.
Oh, it's a very serious matter. Have they breached the Stronghold before?
They're all getting mildly alarmed. They're no, what have you heard?
I'm just wondering, because it seems like everybody here is worried, but a lot of people have lived in the Stronghold all their lives. Why would they be worried about demons if they've never seen them?
Oh, it's not that we've never seen them. Demons are around. It's a thing to be worried about.
Inside the walls?
Yeah.
So they have breached.
They've been in here. As far as I know, the walls haven't been breached.
I don't know enough about magic for this, actually.
They just sort of, if you don't mind, I think I'll be getting back to work now.
Alright, just take note of everybody's leery.
Everybody, once he kind of goes back to work, he kind of he's like, all right, everybody, get back to work. And everybody kind of calms down a little bit, and they kind of get back into the routine. Anybody else want to do any small talk with the villagers?
I just assumed I was just been doing it the whole time anyways.
Yeah,
So
I think
you
you've
probably a rapport going.
Yeah, you've got a bit of a rapport going with them. They're just sort of, a lot of times they're talking about what they were working on yesterday and, where you figure that's going to go and, stuff like that. It kind of focused on work, but still, unless Lazarus decides to take it a different direction.
I'd be trying to build a relationship with them.
Okay. Let's see. Who's beside Kenna? In my head, Nim is there. Lazarus. Oh, okay, that'll be pretty funny. So Kenna, you've been working for the last 20 minutes or so, and you've been kind of looking around, waiting for somebody to strike up a conversation with. And the person working closest to you, you notice, hasn't really been moving back and forth between the carts very much. And you take a look around to kind of figure out what's going on. And it's looks to be about a 16-year-old boy. And he stopped working some minutes ago. And he's just sort of at the wall with his elbows on the wall, and he's just staring at you with his hands on, or his chin on his hands. And he's just kind of staring at you.
Well, hello there.
He kind of he does one of those sees you talking to him and blushes and then ducks under the wall.
Are you all right?
Pauses a bit. Yeah, I'm all right.
What you doing?
Nothing. He kind of leans against the wall. He's nothing, moving rocks. How about you?
Probably holding a rock, I assume.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, also moving rocks.
Sweet.
You want to walk over to the cart together?
No, I'm good here.
Alrighty then. Take my rock and go.
That was awkward.
That poor 16-year-old boy.
I'm assuming he has a boner behind the wall.
That's, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
16-year-old meets a 10 out of 10. That's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
He didn't even... Yeah. He just stared for
I
the
mean,
first
he's
5
what,
minutes.
a year away from you?
Yeah,
We're
he'd
the
actually be
same
pretty
age.
close to your age, yeah.
Same age.
Yep.
I believe. I think I'm 16. I am.
Oh.
Well, it's his attractiveness. No,
Let's
the face
see.
said it.
No, it wasn't. I had an image in my head of him, more the gangly teenager. He's maybe
Ruddy? Little ruddy?
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, it's like a 6, somewhere between a 6 and a 6.5 if one was being generous. A little gangly. He's certainly not the muscular form of some of the other farmers you've seen around these parts. Yeah, and Peter was a man, not a little boy.
Except he was a little boy when he got scared. He thought it was crazy witch lady.
Well, if the crazy lady Magicaster shoe fits.
Oh, at this time I'd also like to take Kit out of my backpack so she can just run around.
Ah, very good. Kit immediately, when you set her down, is just kind of ah! And just starts running around in circles.
Oh gosh.
Just super excited to be down on the ground. Starts jumping up and down the walls and shit.
Also, poor Kit was there for that whole experience, or was she
Yeah, still in the backpack.
Man,
I assume that
can we check the goat for a suicide glyph, please?
I mean, you certainly can. Absolutely.
I will check my goat first. Exactly.
That'd be fun.
So you kind of go over and you're hey Kit, and start and yeah, there's totally a mark on the Skinner doesn't fuck around.
Accidental casualty.
Yeah, but Kit can't say anything.
He doesn't know what Kit is.
If somebody speaks
Could've
to
been
an
a
animal,
druid.
it'll just tell everything.
That's a good point.
When I've tried to speak to Kit, she didn't. No, she talked to
Yeah,
me.
but you didn't torture her.
All right, Kit. Well, you don't run too far away now. All right.
Nah, and just runs around.
Have fun.
It's just absolutely going ballistic.
So happy.
Probably watching her for a little bit because it's probably quite entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Falls off the wall a couple times, just being ridiculous.
Has she grown at all?
Not really. I mean, it's been
Day.
it's been 2 days.
Right.
I know it feels like it's been a lot longer.
Feels like a month or two.
It's because you guys got used to a certain progression of quest speed, and you've gotten much better at it. All right. Anything else anybody wants to do before they start heading back to town?
Nope. Probably just keep going until people start packing up, and then stop at some point, and then start restopping my armor on myself.
Okay. Are you going to head back with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Dis has this incredibly thoughtful look upon his face.
No, I hit back. Tell the party when I get with them, don't talk about demons. These people don't like it. They're freaked the fuck out.
Well, Lazarus shall at least keep note of that.
So you're saying don't mention demons?
I'm nowhere near them.
You did, like, Nim definitely does get, like, a couple people, like, look over.
Oh, yeah, that's not a good idea.
Lazarus is just like... Shit.
I do feel like at least at, like, one part during the long walk back, that at least one person has to go up to Lazarus and be like, Mr. Lazarus, sir?
Yes.
Is there something wrong with them?
Lazarus is like, how to put it? An adventurer's group must be widely skilled.
I think I understand.
I'm not included in that. Is there something wrong with them? I said I was walking far away from them.
No, he was definitely, like, indicating towards those two, the troublemakers. And it's rather funny, almost in Nim-like fashion, that individual goes back, like, towards the people that are walking, like, pulling the carts, and, like, maybe a little louder than he meant to. It's just like, it's okay, they're just weird.
Lazarus probably is
Wait,
like,
people are pulling carts?
Yeah, they're pulling the carts.
Oh, and
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
that the
Before-
people are pulling the cards?
Yeah, the people are pulling the carts.
There's like just with reins?
With a harness.
With a harness?
Kind of like the, what do you call them? Like the rickshaws.
Could it be put on an animal?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you could just put the harness over their neck or whatever.
How many carts are there?
Let's see, it's the end of the day, so like 12.
You could probably like offer it to the...
5.
You get 5?
Well, with myself included.
Oh, well then I guess you can offer it to the 5 most tired people.
Yes, I would like to look for the 5 most exhausted looking people.
Okay, there's definitely, I mean, like, you know, you can kind of pick out the people that look a little more tired.
And I would say, can I help you with this can I help carry these back?
As you kind of do, Walter kind of walks up. What do you got in mind?
Well, I can get some animals here pretty quick, like in an instant, and I can shape into an animal and pull as well.
He's kind of, you're one of them druid fellas, huh?
Well, I'm a woman, but yeah, I'm a druid.
Nah, I mean nothing but fellas, you understand. But, yeah, you one of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, yeah, we could probably, grab a couple of the older ones and have you pull them for them.
Sounds good. I will.
Why don't you get some weird ass animals?
Well, I usually
Giant
get goats
lizards.
here.
They are indeed goats.
Okay.
And so I tell them, we're gonna hook you up to the carts. Follow the other carts back.
Yeah, it doesn't really take much to get them hooked up.
And I'm gonna leave Kit out and tell her to follow along with us. And I'm gonna tell her to listen to Lazarus if she needs to.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shape it to a goat because she's just running loose.
Mhm.
I don't want her to run away.
Okay. When you shapeshift into a giant goat, she goes ballistic. She's just like, nah! And just like starts like bouncing around you.
Oh my god, you could also be a goat!
We
Yeah.
can all be goats together!
Like literally loses her tiny goat mind.
Oh my God.
And just like bounces around you ridiculously and then like runs ahead a little bit and then runs back a little bit.
I feel like with that thing
Before I
running
get tied
around us,
up, I
nobody
chase
can
her
feel
for a
tired.
second.
What was that?
I feel like with that thing running around, no one's allowed to feel tired.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's probably pretty uplifting in the spirits category.
Before I get hooked up, I'll chase her for a little second or two.
All
A
right,
few minutes.
fair enough.
Just
fair
to
enough.
give her a little bit of a run around.
Yeah, gives people kind of a bit of a lighter feeling as you complete your journey. Before all not long, the town is in view.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody pulls everything in, drop the rocks off near the construction site, obviously, and then Walter just kind of, all right, everybody, you know the deal. Let's go to town for that drink.
Yes.
All the unshaped, like, that's something I can get behind.
Who's at the back of the group? Dis. Perception check, please.
15.
Chainmail guy. No, you just happen to be at the back, kind of like helping with the rocks. And when Ken is like, that's something I can get behind, that little 16-year-old kid is like, tell me about it. But he says it like really quietly.
You give that child a fist bump right
please
now.
be something. Something this like.
I just want to lean down and be like, I can introduce you.
He's just like, he looks at you and he's just like, okay.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna go introduce him.
All right. So what do? You just grab him and...
I'm just like, come on up here. She's a great girl.
Oh boy, here we go.
Right in your age range.
Right in your age
You guys are like
range.
perfect together.
Oh dear.
This.
I'm cupiding it up in here.
There's no way that 16-year-old boy isn't as beet red as a goddamn tomato at this point.
Is he a ginger?
No, black hair.
I just bring him up awkwardly.
Yeah, I assume
I
so.
assume he tries to pull away more and more as we get closer and closer.
Definitely.
Oh wait, and like when I guess don't like force him into the jar. I was gonna turn around and be like, "Is he sure? She's really nice. You can go up and talk to her, no problem."
How much of this is Nim hearing? 'Cause
You
I
wouldn't
think
have heard the initial exchange, but by the time he's like almost to Kenna, I mean, certainly.
I would see the kid being like beet red.
Yeah, like he's growing more uncomfortable by the minute.
Just let him go. He went from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, man.
That's why I let him go and was talking to him.
Oh.
Yeah, he just kind of like, you see him like look over a couple of times, and he's just kind of like, no, I'm okay.
Like, all right, if you work up the courage, you can go up and talk to her anytime.
Just tuck in your waistband, bro.
Wow.
You just like run away.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely books it right after that. I feel bad for the kid, but the real me is just like, Nib's just jealous.
I feel
This
like even the
laughs.
farmers would be chuckling at this shit.
Oh, there's no way they're not.
This last.
I mean, these are all people that know each other. They're
Yeah.
cracking up.
Would I have seen any of this exchange?
The very last bit. Really just not even the are you okay with this, because this is pretty stealthy. It really would have been Nim's tuck your waistband in next time, and then the kid just booking it.
Who am I closest to?
Walter's nearby you, and so is Lazarus, actually.
I go up to Walter. I just ask, what's that young kid's name?
I am.
Yeah,
That's little Timmy.
little Timmy.
Little Timmy. He gets bigger, we call him Big Tim, but for now it's little Timmy.
Fair enough. He seems to get quite nervous around me.
Oh, he's just a kind country boy. He ain't seen much of the female types.
All right. Fair enough. I haven't seen... How many women have I seen around here? Seems like all of our encounters
It's
are men.
not that there isn't women around. It's more just the farming rung is a little bit of an older time,
Okay.
so you see them more in the
home.
homestead, sort of. So just because a lot of your stuff has been out in the fields, or it's been a lot of men.
So I really haven't seen many women.
There's like 3 women working for Lil.
That's basically all I've seen.
So far, yeah.
That's fair, I guess. I mean, I haven't seen many women around here.
Yeah, there's a fair bit around, but folks around here don't let their daughters out for too many, socializations.
Ah,
Just, it's an old country values.
well, guess I'm breaking all the rules then.
He kind of gives you he does one of those he's not trying to look but does a quick look, and he's just kind of it's not so bad.
How old is Walter?
He's actually a little bit older, maybe 26.
How attractive is Walter? I'd like to know these things now.
No, Walter's no good. Walter's a solid 4.
It's like a lagoon creature.
No, he's not that bad.
All right.
He's just when the good Lord was handing out looks, he ended up on the bottom half, if you understand my meaning.
All right. Well, thanks, Walter. Thanks very much. Kit, come here.
Man! Sort of blah, 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 blah.
Did you have fun today, Kit?
Just like looks at you, does one of those like like just super excited.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'll let you out of my bag more often.
Sort of like looks and just like nods its head up and down. It's like, nah!
Are you hungry?
Doesn't really seem to have been hungry so far.
Has she drank anything?
You haven't let her out of her bag in like 2 days.
She got into the good bears.
Thank God we keep the good berries in the backpack.
Try to feed her. Oh, maybe I'll go inside and ask Lil. I want to try to wrangle, because she's a little goat still, right?
Yeah, just the little thing.
Just a little thing. I want to see if I can get like a bottle or something to feed her with.
Okay. Yeah, Lil could probably whip something
Yeah.
up like that. Yeah.
So I'll just tell Kit to stay close to me.
Okay.
I'm walking and ask Will if it's okay if I just have my goat running around.
Lil just kind of like looks over and sees you. It's not going to piddle on the floor, is it?
She hasn't piddled in my backpack, so I highly doubt she'll piddle on the floor.
All right. That seems fair enough.
Any chance I could grab a bottle of sorts and some milk for her?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think I still have something around from when one of the girls was nursing.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thanks, Layla.
She just she returns a little while later with that.
I try to feed Kit with it.
Kit takes the food. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Figured it out. Sorry I starved you for 2 days, little goat.
Kenna, so sad.
Alright. So
Go
what
ahead.
does Lazarus know all this?
Lazarus, you were, I suspect, politely enjoying the show that was going on and probably taking a look at what had been done in the church. And then after that, wherever you want to go.
To the tavern.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where everybody was heading.
As Lazarus goes in, it's like, one round for all in the big lizard.
There's just kind of like, there's like that pause. And then they're like, Lazarus, Lazarus, Lazarus.
Just gives up a peace sign.
Yeah, all right. Lazarus buys around for everybody. Does that include your compatriots?
Yeah.
All right.
So tell me how many.
Many including
people?
the entire group, that's like, it's like 20 people in there.
Alright, it's too cool. That is too cool.
I mean, anything else that anybody particularly wants to get accomplished tonight before bed?
Yeah, just going to celebrations, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed that. Does anybody else have anything? I mean, you guys do know you have a quest in the morning, so you guys partying pretty light?
I'm not partying at all. Well,
Okay.
I'll have one beer and that's
We're
it.
having the good, solid after days work beer, but we're not getting
Yeah,
wasted.
no, I got you on that one.
We'll have a shower beer.
A shower beer? The best beer. All right, fair enough. I guess you know what we'll do is we'll do the long rest before we wrap up for the day so that you guys can talk quick about what spells and stuff you think you might need for tomorrow's adventure. And then we'll wrap up for the day.
Sure.
I guess we'll start with the easy one. Dis, anything you need to change?
Swap all my spells out, swap my daggers out, and put them all back in the same place.
You still rotating your daggers every long rest?
Of course, gotta keep them
He's
even.
got a third dagger now.
That's right.
But it's
If he wants to
shit.
use it, but it's kind of shite.
It's more like...
It's
for
my
like whittling
stabbing
wood.
stone dagger.
It's for like whittling wood. The point's fucked, but the edge is still
It's
fine.
for when I need to make a point and shatter something. That's the dagger that comes out.
Fair enough. That seems fair.
Point making dagger.
Dis, did you want to work on your god puzzle this long rest?
No, because I'd be like partying with the people and the rest, and then I'd be setting up for trying to figure out how I was going to contact the Shadow Plate or how they might do it, and then worrying about the chainmail guys I still saw on the other level, and thinking about if I remember anything else from the blonde guy.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just gonna call him the blonde guy instead of the chainmail. The chainmail blonde guy.
Yeah, because the blonde guy's like 1,000 times more specific than the chainmail guy.
Chainmail blonde guy. I gotta combine the best of both worlds.
I feel like every time Dis remembers one detail, it'll just be like, I'm so worried about the chainmail blonde guy with the brown eyes and the weird toenails, or just some other random detail you remember. Eventually it'll take you like 2 solid minutes to describe the man you're worried about. All right, we'll go to the people that are have a little bit more things to contend with. So, I guess maybe Nim. What are you leaning towards for tomorrow?
I took off Detect Magic because I can ritual it, and I put on Chromatic Orb.
Okay.
And now I'm thinking... we might need to run away. Probably not. I don't know. I'm going to take off Expeditious Retreat, and I think I'm going to put on Large Reduce.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
Who's ready next, then?
I'm most certainly going to take off a spell for something. I don't know which one I'm taking off yet.
Okay, what are you putting on?
Detect Evil and Good.
Okay, Detect Evil and Good.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what your ping does?
No, this one lets me detect aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that one was much more specific.
Yeah, this is more the one I'm going to be. We're going into the sun now. And be like,
Yeah, be like, what's in here?
yep.
Yeah,
What's in your wallet? I mean,
The
Sawmill.
ping's for free. This one's much more actually
Yeah.
useful.
Casting.
Yeah, so I can
No, it makes sense. I mean, the ping is pretty specific. Like, you have to have something that's really good,
It has to be
really
usually-
bad.
It has to be
But
like
I'll
more
take
like
a
it
little
has to be
one just in
usually
case.
divinely centered, so like desecration, consecration to register strong evil, strong good, or it has to be something like a fucking lich
Yeah, like something really
or
bad.
like a vampire.
Vampire.
Okay. Oh, should I roll my portent?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your portents now.
Okay, all the spells I currently have, I'm going to take off Bless
Okay.
and leave
you're gonna-
Bane on.
Okay, you're gonna take off Bless and put on the Detect Good and Evil. Okay. Nim, how'd your portents go?
Oh, god damn it. Very average. As they do.
As they do.
Well, one's a 6, the other's an 11, so one's like a... maybe fail.
Actually, a 6 is... I mean, like, a 6 can be a pretty solid fail.
Yep.
You know what? We forgot to do your card at the beginning of the session, so maybe just do a card now and we'll see if it was accurate.
Have faith and hope, because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see, that you can't yet see.
Not inaccurate.
Not inaccurate.
I mean, there was a lot of things involving us having to deal with massive groups of power of negative influence being interested in us, and next, all of a sudden, and all this other crap.
Yeah.
Mind you, they only mentioned one group of name, but mentioned there may be multiple groups after us, so...
True. They did only mention one specific group, but they didn't specify that only one group would be interested in you. Alright, so that's you guys then. Kenna.
I took off Lesser Resto and Goodberry, and I put on Water Wall and Creator Destroy Water.
Not the good berries. Where will Dis get his
The fix.
Where will Dis get his fix now?
Well,
Well, I guess he
see,
keeps eating Lil's food.
That's exactly. We've been eating Lil's food for days now, so I just don't really see a point of keeping the spot for it.
Yeah, I mean, she does give it to you for free for working under her anyway, so why not, right?
And if we were to get stranded for a day, you could just re-equip it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
It's not like I can't put Goodberry back on.
No.
No. All right. Is there anything that anybody wants to cover off before we end the session then?
Nope.
All
I
right.
think we're all pretty good.
Yep. Thanks for the session, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Wow, what a cliffhanger. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Double Doubles and Dragons next time.